Good morning, everybody. GM. Welcome to Money Monday. Awesome. Excited for another week. And yeah, let's go. We got some updates. Welcome back, current students, and welcome new students. We call this Money Monday. We got Takeoff Tuesday and Wealth Wednesday. And this is something we've been doing every week for over a decade now. And so sometimes we're going to talk about concepts and real estate and business and entrepreneurship. And if you don't know what we're talking about, it's because you haven't been watching your classes. So prioritize your competence, watch your classes, get serious about the next couple of years and the wealth creation that you're after, because things are looking up, folks. Things are looking up. And when you get the benefits of real estate that we're all currently getting, and if you're serious about it, you don't take a day off. You don't have to do it all day, but you better check on your business, your personal development, your growth, your goals, your vision board a little bit every day. Kind of like that adage, an apple a day. It's not 7 apples on Sunday, an apple a day. So anyway, congrats to Benjamin Creelman, for being number 1 this week. I know you've been putting in the work, the hours. You've started a team in a different city and you're hosting events, but you're also plugging into another cities. So you're doubling up and it's paying off. We could tell people are joining your team, and your peoples are making sales too. So well done. Congrats to you. In the number 2 position, we got Linda Thompson from Idaho Falls. Congrats to you as well. Number 3, Michael Saunders from the Idaho team. Same deal as Benjamin, right? Starting up a new area, helping new students, using the system. It's incredible to see. Linda Riley Jensen, well done to you in the number 4 position. And again, it's team's team, right? Her enrollees and the people that she's bringing in are making sales as well. And it's a great sign of leadership. Keep it up, Belinda. Thank you also for the workshops and everything, the house tours that you open up for everybody. Vivian Pierre, number 5. Good for you. I know how crazy your schedule is with your job and your business, and you're still able to introduce new people to the program. Well done. Well done. Mehelani Eddy from the Tooele in the number 6 position. Keeping it rocking and rolling in the number 7 position. Denisha and David Christensen. Also, now I'm sensing a theme here. She's also started a new area in Vernal and helping new people see a better version of what they can become here in America as business owners, as real estate investors, as entrepreneurs, as people who take responsibility. So well done, David and Denisha. Richard, number 8 position. Tried and true. Number 9, Corinne. Well done. Number 9, working in the Sandy area. And then down in Texas, we got Mr. Ryan Dodge, again, an area leader, helping new students. Ryan has done, last I heard, he's participated in over 280 deals, some giant apartment complexes, wholesaling. So if you ever get a chance to meet him or hop on his calls from the Texas team, he is a great resource for you. Remember, one of the benefits of this program is you have a nationwide network, and everyone should get to know the Dodge family. Anyway, there's our top 10. So I want to say big congrats. Now, the quote of the day here is always deliver more than expected. Well said. 5 simple words to live by. Sweet. Okay. Well, welcome, everybody. One thing we've been doing this past week is we started our next training program, our next challenge. It's going strong. Got some new people going through the challenge, and the idea is 5 sales. 5 sales in 12 weeks. Now, let's talk about that for a sec, because some people are so new, they don't even know that they can make money talking about our program. So I put together a fancy little slide here. Now, to be clear, there are a couple other combinations of packages I didn't put on this sheet, but you're able to create any other combination of things with this sheet. Right, so you have all the stuff here. It's just some, what if you wanted to get an advanced profits essentials combo? Well, just add it up or deduct the essentials from the advanced, and now you got it there. Anyway, this is the most common arrangement of packages people buy. They'll get an essentials, they'll get the profits, an advanced combo, an extreme combo, the EPX combo, and of course the Genius course. Now, a lot of you have the education. I hope you know we can see every class, every minute that you're watching, and some of you, well done. You guys are consuming it like crazy, but some of you log in every day, but you don't watch your classes. So, like I said at the beginning, prioritize your competence. Your competition out in the marketplace is extreme, and the people with the most information win every negotiation. So watch your classes and build a network of people who are educated to bring you good deals. And he mentions, mainly say it all the time, enroll your power team. You're going to need a power team. You learn that in your classes. You're going to need an attorney, a CPA, a bunch of realtors, a bunch of lenders, a bunch of inspectors, insurance agents, appraisers, handymen, contractors. You're going to need them all. And you're going to have backups to each of them. So you're going to know dozens and dozens of people over the next 5 to 10 years as you build out this gigantic real estate company. You might as well enroll them in the program. They're going to get huge benefits. They're already entrepreneurs. Think about it. It's going to be a tax write-off for them. And because they'll be better educated in real estate, negotiations, tax, legal, everything else, their businesses will improve. And it's this reciprocal effect. You help other people's businesses they help you, back and forth, back and forth. And along the way, maybe they won't watch every single class like you do. Maybe they won't ever become recruiters like you will, but their real estate business and your real estate business are going to explode. And anyway, you enroll the cash EPX, which is the most popular. It's $26,000, right? $25,991. The referral fee on that is $12,000. Now I know these other ones are sometimes we think it's easier to sell. I'm here to tell you that it's the same amount of work to sell an essentials as it is to sell an EPX combo, which is called the epics, right? Selling an epics and selling an essentials is the same amount of work. So as the salesperson, I want you to be thinking and attracting and focusing on and helping our students and your students get the epics. They're going to get the most value, and you're going to get the highest commission. Everybody wins. They don't have to spend any more money on their real estate training because it's a lifetime membership. So then the question becomes, how many $12,000 checks do you need to have a good month? Okay, so good morning, Zendon. Come on out here. Come off mute. Let me hear your question. Let me make sure my speakers are turned up. All right, go ahead.
Morning.
Good
So I'm still brand new at all of this. So I was just looking at some of the structuring last night and I was a little bit confused. So as you're working to qualify, is it for like the first 5,000, is it 5,000 total or is it 5 people, 5,000? Like what actually is it? Because it's commissional value you mentioned like 30%, then 40%, then 50. So how do you, like, how many, is it number of people that you have to reach that many, or is it the total volume completely?
It's going to be based off of this column here. So you're just going to add up these numbers until you hit 5,000. So if you sell an advanced combo, 4197 is going in that bucket. So you're almost at 5,000 if you just sell one advanced combo.
Perfect. That's how I understood it. So awesome. Thank you.
You betcha. Let's check the chat here real quick, make sure I'm staying up on that. Cool. Yep, it's working. Let's get rid of this. Close. GM, Laura, Ada, Steve, Deborah, Gilda. Awesome. Yeah, Deborah's got a message in the chats, guys. If you're looking to get a roommate, share on some cost for the hotel. She got 2 more rooms or 2 more spots available. Sweet. Okay. So these are your direct commissions, the CV. There's also an override. So once you help someone become a 5-star, so you've gone through this path yourself, which I'm going to start from the beginning on this slide. Your qualification track, once you pay your 197 and you become an ICM, you're going to get paid 30% on the first 5,000 in CV. Now, to point out something real quick, if your first sale is an Epics, you've already hit that 5,000, and then the next benchmark is 15. So you've already put 12 towards your 15 in there. So you're going to get 30% on the first 5,000 that go in, and then there's another 7,000 that you're going to get 40% of. So you're going to get essentially a $4,300. Yeah. $4,300 commission if your first sale as a brand new student is an Epics combo, because you're going to get 30% on the first 5,000, and then you're going to get a raise to 40% on the next 10,000 of anything you generate. Well, on that first sale, we've counted the first 5,000 here, but you generated 12, so we're going to put 7 towards that next 10. 7 times 4 is 28. So you're going to get 2,800 plus the 1,500. Am I doing that math right? 7,004, yeah, 28, well, 1,000, 2,800 plus 1,500, so 40. 43, yeah, okay, I was right. 4,300. So you'll need another 3,000 to hit that second level of 10,000, which will then make you a 3-star. So as soon as you hit 15, so if you do 2 Epics combos, now you put 24,000 in that bucket. So you surpass the 15,000 mark. On 2 sales, you will jump to your 3-star status, and you'd now be getting 50% of anything that goes in that bucket. Anything that you sell, you're getting half of the CV for. So the last benchmark would be 50,000. At that point, you would become a 5-star. You get 100% of the CV. And when we add up along the way, the 1,500 on the first benchmark, the 4,000 on the second benchmark, the 17,500 on the third benchmark, add all that up, you got 23,000 USD cash money paid to you. Spend it how you want. To me, I think it's a genius. You're going to learn some skills. You're going to get practically all of your money back because the program's 26,000. Throw in the Genius course, we're looking at 29. Couple, fees here and there for systems and business. You're looking at about 30 grand startup. You want to get the whole enchilada with the turbo boost option, about 30 grand. You introduce 5 people, you're going to get 23. And then each of those 5 people, now I say 5, it could be 50, right? If all you ever sell is essentials, 1,000 at a time, it's going to take you 50 people to get to 50,000, which is totally fine. Each person that you enroll, once you become 5-star, that's the key. Once you become 5-star, when they make a sale, you're going to get a cut. If you're not 5-star and they start making sales, it's going to jump you to your 5-star. Any questions on what I just said there? So you're back here. You finally made it to 5-star creator. So you become a 5-star phase 1. You create 5-stars phase 2. And then once you have 5 stars, you create 5 stars. That's phase 3. And then you can make 6 figures a year, 6 figures a month in overrides. You got to ask Scott Rowe from the Chicago team. He's made about $5 million in overrides. And that's what he's focused on. As soon as he got 5-star, I think he said he got 5-star in like 3 or 5 weeks, something crazy like that. Like he was out of a job, needed it big time. He had just gotten foreclosed on. Car was repoed. Him and his wife were both unemployed. They had a little 1-year-old or 2-year-old, something like that. And he saw the meeting. They said, spend the money. And he's like, don't you know I'm broke? Like, right? It's the same story for all of us, but the opportunity is so worth it. We figure out how to join. So he got the money, got 5-star. And then once he saw the comp plan, he was like, I'm going to focus on that override thing, which will make all these other pieces inevitable. And so he started focusing on overrides. And I think he said his first year, he made $400,000 his first year. So, but then since then, you stack up all just the overrides. I may be wrong. It might be 6 million. I got to ask him because it's been a while since he shared that story. Anyway, my point is that I want you to be thinking bigger than just become a 5-star. Okay. Becoming a 5-star is like getting out of elementary school. You're not thinking you're done at 6th grade. And some of you, sorry if it sounds harsh, but you're not thinking big enough. If just becoming 5-star is your goal, I want you to be thinking, how can I get 5 people 5-star a month? Because that would make you a lot of money, which we can go over in a minute. So becoming a 5-star creator and going back to whether it's 5 people or 50 people, you're going to go through this path. You're going to get, let's keep it simple and say 5 new students to achieve this. Those 5 new students, if they all decide that they want to become a 5-star also, and they start enrolling new students in the program is going to pay them 30% because it's their new student that they found. And if you are a 5-star, you are going to get the 70%. If you're not a 5-star, that sale will float up to your 5-star, to your 5-star. If you're only 3-star, a little bit might get deposited, and then the rest will go to your 5-star. But as a 5-star, you're going to get at least 50% on anyone below you who's not 5-star. Here you get 50, here you get 60, and here you get 70. So get 5-star fast. Success loves speed. It took me 800 cold market leads to make 5 sales, and it took me about 12 conversations from my warm market to make 5 sales. And I wanted to, for some reason, see both, and I went the hard route and the easy route. And warm market is easier because then my warm market started bringing me deals too. So you can focus on volume or you can focus on quality. So thought about another way. I guess it's the same way, just a different visual. 30% on your first 5,000 is going to pay you $5,000. Or sorry, on your first 5,000 is going to pay you 1,500. On the next 10,000, after you become a 1-star, you're going for your 3-star. That's going to pay you $4,000 on the next 10. 5 plus 10 is 15. So far in your process, you generated 15 and earned a 3-star. Now, chances of you landing exactly on 15, not very likely because none of these are exact zeros. And this one is, but if you do 2 of these, then you're already at 24. You're going to pass 15. So anything over that benchmark, you're going to get paid in the new percentage, whether it's 30, 40, or 50%. He's kept it pretty simple, right? 30% on the first 5 grand, 40% on the next 10,000, and 50% on the remaining 35,000 to total out 50,000. You get along the way, you get paid 23,000. The other 27,000, right, which is the remainder of what was generated and what paid you, there's 27,000 left. That's going to pay your 5-star. That's why we want you to become a 5-star, because it's going to float. Anyone that you enroll, those 5 people, is going to float up and pay your 5-star if you're not a 5-star. So this other 27,000 is going to go to the 5-star. Look at that fancy drawing here. I left my pen in my other office. So this other 27,000. Okay, so there's you here getting paid the 23. There's another person here getting paid 27. And then there's going to be 3 people that are going to get paid an override, because Snyder's comp plan pays out override the 10% to 3 levels. So 10% would be 27 of 27,000 would be 2,700. 2,700 to your 5-star's 5-star times 3. 27, 27, 2,700 are all paid to your 5-star. 27,000 is paid to you, and 23,000 is paid to your new student for bringing in 5 customers. And when we're talking about how this is the best opportunity in the country, when you combine this comp plan with real estate investing, some of you could be making millions of dollars a year. I've seen it. Others of you could be making hundreds of thousands a year. Some of you will have $100,000 months, $200,000 months. I've seen some people have $400,000, $500,000 months. Then you go around and you tell 5 or 10 people and they decide to buy a program. Now, once you become a 5-star, you only have to do it one time. Any other enrollment after that, you're getting paid $12,000. So building a team. Oh, better clear that out. So your overflow. This is what I was talking about. Overflow is when someone on your team is working to gain their star status and they are unqualified, which means they haven't hit 5-star. The team member that makes a sale will split the commission between themselves and their upline. That's called overflow. There are some periods, because it like ebbs and flows, right? You'll go and enroll 5 or 10 new people, you'll make 50, 100,000, then you'll help 2 to 5 of them become 5 star. Some won't want to, some will want to. So you go help those 2 to 5, and now all of a sudden you get a big burst because you got 5 or 10 people working directly to get 5 star, and you're going to get overflow, overflow, overflow. You're going to get a ton of overflow sales in bursts. Then those people will become 5 star. That first round of people that you decided to work with. And so from then on, you'll get overrides off of that new 5 star affiliate, whoever you made. Overrides are paid only to 5 star qualified affiliates when they have a team member that makes a sale and they are 5 star. Then you will get paid 10% of the CV from every sale of every 5 star in your organization. This is how Scott made $1 million. I think he did it in the fastest he made $1 million was like 19 months or something like that in overrides. There are plenty of people in the program who've done that. Now, it takes a while. It's got to add up, right? But if you're getting a $1,200 override, how many $1,200 overrides do you need to make $1 million? If you're getting paid $1,200 every time someone on your team somewhere sells a combo, how many do you need to get to $1 million? I think it's 834. 1 million divided by 1,200. 834. 834 new students somewhere in the world, and you will get paid $1 million in overrides as a 5 star. So Scott Rowe has probably enrolled, his whole team now has enrolled about 15,000 people. Mitch Nelson and I, our team has enrolled about 5,000 people. But the thing is, the way that Snyder set up this comp plan isn't to favor the person at the top. It's an equal playing field, minus this 10% override. Because my team goes 20 levels deep. Scott Rowe's team goes like 70 levels deep. But you only get paid on the 3. Okay. You only get paid on the 3 because someone 20 levels deep from me, when they make a sale, they're still getting paid 12 grand. And the 3 people above them are getting paid 1,200. So the comp plan stays strong wherever the sales are made. It doesn't always funnel up to the top like these other plans that you might be sold on. Like this one is so favorable to the field that anyone who needs an honest way to make an honest living, selling an honest product, this is it. I mean, you could go, there's so many other jobs out there that a robot's not going to replace that you could go do, but not ones that can make you 50 grand a month or 50 grand a year, depending on your appetite, or only 5 grand a year. Maybe you only need a couple $100 a week extra, right? 5 grand a year is $200 a week. If that makes a difference for you and you just sell a couple essentials throughout the year, it'll unlock a ton of tax write-offs for you. It'll open up some banking and business and credit stuff for you. 5,000 would actually, if you went from a W-2 and you just added on 5 grand a year in side hustle money, that actually could easily net you 15 grand because you're going to change your tax code. You play the whole game, right? Earning money is just one dimension. Watch your classes, learn how the banking system works, learn how the credit system works, learn how inflation works. And then here's a next level of thinking about this. How are you going to spend the $1 million? Now, right off the top, if you have a lazy tax strategy, you're going to pay about 300,000 of it in taxes. If you are very strategic, you might get it down to 200, 150. Okay. But let's say 200. So you pay 200,000 in taxes. You got 800,000 left over. You're going to pay off your car. You're going to pay off your house. You're going to pay off your student loan, your stupid credit card. You're going to pay off your mom's house. Okay. You just spent $500,000 just like that. But none of those things were tax write-offs, which is one reason why you probably paid the 200,000, but now you got 300 grand left over. You're going to go buy a couple rentals, buy a life insurance policy, then you're out of money. You got to go back and do it again. But the cool thing is that all those people that you enrolled in the program, whether it was 84, you sold it directly and made $1 million, or 840, and you got an override for $1 million, all those people are still working and making some sales. I guess not all of them, right? There's a ratio, 10%, 50%, depending on how active your team is. I've watched people make a big burst of sales in a month or two, and then the following month or two, they made the same amount of money, but they didn't work because their team did a bunch of overflow sales. So there's many, many dimensions that you're going to go through. But if you think linearly, like a job makes you think, like public school makes you think, you're going to just see, let me clear this here. You're going to just see what are we doing here? There we go. You're going to just see this. You're going to look at this as job work. Okay. This is actually like an apprenticeship. Like you're learning the skills needed to become a multimillionaire in business over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This is an apprenticeship. This is like a paid apprenticeship. Now, there are very technical terms that have been defined by regulators and commissioners and all that. So we don't get to say it that way as a technicality, but it's a great framework for thinking, like along the way of learning the language, the schedule, the posture, the mindset, the positioning, the discipline, all of these things that you're going to learn along the way are going to be, you're going to be able to invest in your real estate and your enterprise for the next decade, and you get paid to learn it along the way as a team. This is so freaking cool. You got to get more people involved. Let me just check the chats here. Got a few things coming through. Okay, so Deborah corrected me. 5 million plus in overrides for him and Nancy. Wheatbrook, did I answer your question clearly on the overrides? Tanya Murphy, what does that combo look like talking to your warm market versus your cold market? I will cover that. When is the recording? House, and how can I get covered? It's like getting paid while getting a master's degree in real estate. Exactly. Ben, this is on our YouTube channel, the Team Elevate YouTube channel is where all these get put. Thanks to the volunteering efforts of Jasmine. So thank you very much, Jasmine. If Jasmine ever asks you for something, guys, you need to say yes, because she'll only ask if it's absolutely necessary, and we're all a volunteer army making this thing beautiful. Okay, and then how does the question look, warm market versus cold market? Well, we got this entire program that will give you all the scripts and everything about it, but essentially, Tanya, what you're doing is you're changing your reputation with how these people know you. Okay, there's a saying that says, in a single dimension, it says, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You ever heard that? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Got all these smart people, but they don't know the right people, so the door's closed. And you got all these people who didn't put in the effort, but they know somebody, and the door's open. So it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's level 1. But if you need to redesign something in your life, it's how they know you. So we're going to go from what you know to who you know. But you might know the right people, but how they know you is the lube tech at Jiffy Lube, is the tire guy at Sears. That was how people knew me, right? I was really good at it. I knew hundreds of people. I did oil changes at people's houses and tire changes and brake jobs. I went around and helped people with their cars, helped them save a boatload of money, helped them. I loved helping people, but I was so poor doing it the whole time. So I needed to change how people knew me. So that conversation goes, hey, I'm getting into real estate. If for some reason anything comes across you about someone needing to sell or wanting to buy, please think about me. I'm not a realtor. I'm an investor. I put deals together. The next time you hear that someone needs it to sell something, please call me first, not that realtor that you see on the bus stop bench. Okay. I end it with something goofy. They see it all the time. There's some realtor somewhere in their city that puts their face on the bus stop bench and they go, oh, okay, instead of thinking real estate and the bus stop bench, I'm going to think real estate and Michael. So I just called a bunch of people while I was still working at Jiffy Lube and Sears. I still, for 9 months, worked both of those jobs before I made enough money from real estate to quit. And so people would still see me in my yucky Jiffy Lube uniform, and they would still see me, my schedules. I still needed a ride to work. I still needed a ride to the Thursday night meeting. I still needed to ride the bus occasionally. But I was changing how they knew me. They now know me as the real estate guy, whatever that means to them. But when they think about real estate, their coworker says, I'm getting a divorce. I got to sell the house. Well, don't call that realtor to list it. Call me. Or someone else just inherited a house, in Louisiana, and they don't want it. And they're getting letters from the city saying the lawn is overgrown. They're about to get a fine. They don't even want the damn house. It reminds them of their grandma. They're sad. They don't want it anymore. Okay? Call me. I could buy it. And so you're going to put in the effort to change how they know you. All right, Tanya and everybody else? How they know you is the next level of influence in how you're going to change your business outcomes. It's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's how they know you. Sweet. All right. Mehiline brings up a great point about Super Saturday. Super Saturday is once a month. We spend 3 to 4 hours going over the reps, okay? Going over the form so that it becomes second nature. How you have a conversation at the grocery store or the holiday mixer or the family barbecue or the networking event. It's how they know you, and there are different ways to approach it, but some things don't change. There are some basics that are going to be involved in every conversation, and we cover those at Super Saturday. Once a month. If you can't make it, join. There are some communities who do it online only. If you're in a spot where you can go in person, go in person. I know it's a Saturday. I know how society trained you to put Saturdays as a goof off day, right? You don't have to go to school on Saturdays for your entire life. Saturdays, a lot of people work is closed on Saturdays. I get it, but not here. Not if you're trying to, one, catch up on decades of mistakes and neglect, and two, outcompete the people who are working with now. They work on Saturdays. There will come a time in your future where Saturdays and Tuesdays and Friday, they're all going to be Saturday for you. But that might be 5 or 10 years from now, after you've helped 100 people do 100 deals. Then you can have a Saturday, a schedule that's for leisure and retirement. But while you're here and you're working and you're building and you're not retired, you're going to work on Saturdays with us. Now, it might be a property tour and you only go for an hour, but it might be a Super Saturday where you go for 4, or it might be an accelerator where you go all freaking day. Then you take your guest and your team to dinner, and then you go, and it's all freaking night, and you got to the event at 8 a.m. and you don't say goodbye to them till 10 p.m. all day, and you got to explain to your wife or your husband and your kids, Saturdays, I'm putting in the work. But it will pay off. It'll set a different pace for who you're becoming. And then, you know what I could do once I was able to drop both of those jobs? then I only worked in the afternoons, right? I worked from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. because we would do cash flow on Wednesday, we'd do the epic on Thursday, we'd do follow up on Friday, and I just worked in the evenings. The only morning I worked was Saturday morning because I didn't have a job anymore. Yeah, but I had to work every Saturday while having jobs. And so if you feel crammed for time, make the best of it. Go the full way. You don't get paid 90%. You only get paid at 100. So if your schedule is already crammed because of your job, your kids, your hobby, your other commitments, and now this, make this so productive while you're doing it that you could drop the job. Only a few of you actually do the job you love. The rest of you are doing it to pay the bills. You might as well do this recruiting to pay the bills because it's going to keep you in the real estate industry, in the real estate conversation, the real estate network that is your net worth. And if you need 100 grand so you can quit your job, it's 9 sales. It's 9 students once you're 5-star. If you're not 5-star, it's like 13. 13 students, 100 grand, quit your job, go full time in real estate, however that looks for you. But be serious about it and do it until. Don't do it unless it gets cold outside. No, it's until. It was that attitude, that until is what changed it so that I went from making $10,000 to $1 million out of the Denver office. I lived in Utah, worked in Denver, and I didn't miss a single week. I didn't miss a super Saturday, and I drove there over 100 times from Salt Lake to Denver. That's 8 hours. It's 500 miles one way. And the approach that allowed me to do that consistently enough to where people that only came to the Denver office thought I lived in Denver because I never missed a meeting in Denver. It was the until attitude. I'm going to do this until, not unless. When your family sees that, they will rally behind you. If your spouse is like, I don't care about real estate so much, but you do, and you have this until attitude, they're going to support you. It's the unless that's unattractive, that doesn't get the support. I'm going to do it unless it snows. No, I kept going. Dude, do you know what it's like to drive from? You have to drive over the Rocky Mountains to get to Denver. Denver's on the other side of the tallest mountain range in the Western Hemisphere. And it goes all the way down North America, right? I had to drive over that in ice storms in the winter. And both places, Denver and Salt Lake, got crazy storms. Sometimes the 8-hour drive turned into a 15-hour drive. But I never missed them. I was never late. Sometimes I had a headache. Sometimes I had to borrow gas money. At the beginning, I was not very good, but I had the right attitude and the willingness to learn. So keep at it. It's going to pay off. This is the environment where the skill set, the network, and the education, this trifecta is unmatched and is going to pay off. There, you have a 5-star, you have a team of people that have a schedule that'll help you, whether it's Super Saturdays, whether it's one-on-ones, whether it's Investor Secret Network or the Real Deal Network. Yeah, I said trifecta. I was I was thinking, is that the right word? And it technically is the right word. It's a trifecta for sure. So constantly be checking the calendar too. Like I was saying, when we go to the back office and we're looking at students' performance and we can see how often you log into the back office, how often are you checking the calendar and looking and seeing what can you plug into in your area? And maybe instead of your area, your topic. There are plenty of nation who don't live in your area, but they host a monthly or a weekly Zoom call on the topic of your interest. Stephen Mora and the way he talks about seller financing, the mobile home meetup with Wanda Bruno. She talks about mobile home structuring. Do More Deals with Bill Winkler. He talks about fundraising. Like there's all these people that don't live in your area, but they're a part of your Renatus ecosystem. So log in, use this stuff way more. Make it a habit of logging in every day. You don't have to log in all day, like I said, but an apple a day, not 7 apples on Sunday. And you'll see the difference. The compound effect will take place in your life. And share good things with more people. Awesome. Okay. Well, we got the Invest Edge later today with the Snyder team from corporate. So be sure to check that out. And remember that those are shareable. So once they're out and published, send them to people who you've been talking to about the program. Snyder's just got a way with interviewing people. So share it, help build trust, and participate more. It'll come back to you. Awesome. All right, guys. Money Monday. That's it for me for now. And I appreciate you all for being here. If you need us, reach out. We're here. I absolutely love what I get to do and help you guys see a better version of yourself and get the most out of the program. So we're in it to win it, baby. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.
Hey, Michael, how do we get a hold of you if we need to?
Oh, I have a Calendly link.
Sweet.
Let me pull that up real quick.
Because you're on the East Coast, right? I have people over there.
I'm technically in Central Time Zone, but Tennessee is
Perfect.
some East, some Central. It's a funny arrangement.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Tennessee. East
All
of
right.
here.
Yeah,
Sweet.
exactly.
Awesome.
All right, Calendly. Yep. All right, copy. Need to drop it in here.
Thank you.
And now I can move it to this. And we're going to get Bill's Calendly all set up as well. And there we go. All right, check the chat now. There's a link right there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You betcha. Thanks, Tanya. It's Steve, everybody. Jasmine, Ben, Deborah. Awesome. All right, guys. See you soon.
Ciao, ciao.